Hey guys, my name's Callum and welcome to Creative Baits TV. You join us for a week-long session on the Domaine De Goncourt Complex in France. We're fishing the Botte Lake. It's 35 acres in size, has fish up to 66 pound and 35 of them are over 50 pound as well. Depths range from between 3 and 8 feet. It's mostly clean bottom out there, loads of gravel, little odd clay bars and silt patches and the odd bit of weed as well. And last week there was 12 anglers fishing and between them they caught 103 fish. That is absolutely amazing. So we could be in for a bit of a session. So you're allowed to use bait boats on here, so I'm going to get mine out in a minute, get out there, see if we can find some likely spots, get some bait out there, get some rigs tied, and hopefully it won't be long before we have a couple of fish. Right, so I've had a good little look around and it is all pretty much even out there. All hard spots, the odd little tiny hole, and it's all around about 4 foot. So I'm going to pull the boat in. I found 2 spots quite close to that island and 1 spot where you can see that fallen tree over there, just out in open water. Now the bailiff did say that this is a runs water, so there is a lot of fish in here and they move around quite a lot, so I think it's worth kind of putting them in with some bait. If that doesn't work, I might consider changing spots during the week. The island seems like a good spot to start, but also quite an obvious choice, and I'm sure anyone else fishing this swim will have the same idea. So there we go, rods are out finally. It's been a long old day. One thing left to do is get them buzzers switched on. I'm gonna go get some rest and fingers crossed we have a bite through the night. Good morning, it's day 2 of the trip and we had a couple of small commons last night. One about 4 or 5 ounces and the other one maybe a couple of pounds. So it tells me there's quite a lot of small fish in here. And bearing in mind, it's a brand new lake, I've never fished it before. I haven't really done the research into it, so maybe that was a bit of a mistake. But what we're going to do today to combat the small fish, I use a 15mm barrel stiffy. We're going to upgrade that to a 20mm barrel stiffy and let's see if we can't get through those smaller fish into some bigger ones. So I'm going to get on with that now. And one thing I forgot to mention before, another change that I'm going to be making, instead of using yellow tippers, I'm going to go with orange, pink and yellow and see if we can find out which one they prefer. So there we go then, that is the 3rd rod out with the new hook bait approach. Let's just hope those changes make a difference. I often use the same baiting approach on most of the venues I go to, so let's go through it. First of all, we've got some boilie crumb there which we put through the crusher. 3 different size pellets here, 12s, 4s and 6s. Various sizes of frozen Flying Dutchman. So we've got 12s, 20s and 15s. I add some powder into that as well, some spod syrup, and I'd be silly to ignore the bait that the fish are mostly fed on, which we've got maize here, and we've also got hemp, which the lake owner has provided. They get fed on that every single day of the week, so I'd be silly not to put that in the mix. To start, I add the different size boilies into a bucket, followed by the boilie crumb. Next I throw in the 2, 4 and 6mm pellets. Now it's time to add my particles, which is maize and hemp. After that I sprinkle in just enough powder to cover the top. Now it's time to give it a little mix. Last but not least, I give it a generous pour of our spod syrup. The last thing left to do now is give it a thorough mix through. And this is the end result. I've caught loads of fish using this mix in the UK and abroad. It's day 3 of the trip, and I've only had 2 tiny little carp, one at about £1 and the other one probably about ½ pound. Had a tiny little catfish on the right hand, all of them coming actually on the right hand rod. Now I have got a little spot here to the right of me where I have been putting bait out every night, sending the boat out over a spot, putting bait on it and not fishing it. So I think today is the day where we finally get that rod out over there. There's been nobody fishing over there at all. It's my water and I've just left it and hoping that the fish do come in there. It was one of them ones where I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave it just in case we struggle out in front of us here. I'm going to leave that alone, let the fish drift in there, give them some free food, and hopefully we're going to get a rod out now. Hopefully we manage to land one from there. Good morning, it's day 4, and as you can see there is a rod missing off the pod down there. Had a run about an hour and a half ago just as it was getting light, so we slinged it up. It's over there. It's only about £18, but it's a start. So we're going to get it out, get them pictures done, and let's have a look at the fish. So here we go. Here's our prize. Only a little one, around about £18. Just shows the new hook bait tactics are working, which is absolutely awesome. Let's get this one back. Fingers crossed we can have another one out today. I made a couple of small changes to my approach. Gone round, had a shower, pulled all the rods in, and as you can see behind me there's an island, so it's a likely looking spot which I'd imagine a lot of people choose to fish off straight off the bat as soon as they arrive. Well, for the last 3 days, I haven't really had anything off the island, so I've decided to move my pod to the right hand side of the swim and fish out towards open water over there. I've got one still just off the island, probably about 3 or 4 rod lengths, where we had that 18 pounder from this morning, and the other 2 rods are kind of facing out towards the other swims on that side. Found some clear patches using the boat. A friend of mine next door, he's fishing. He changed his approach and fished out to open water and landed a 44-pound common last night. So let's just hope that the changes make the difference. Only time will tell. Let's see. We're into another one. Let's hope this one bigger than the last couple that we've had. But it's not anything of decent size. It's only a little one. Only a little one. So here we go then. Fish number 2. Definitely not what we was after. Probably only about 15 pound or something like that. But nice to get a bend in the rod. Obviously you can't pick the fish that you catch, because I definitely wouldn't have chose to catch that, especially knowing what else is in here. So let's get this one back, rod back out on the spot. At least it's producing fish. They both come on that left hand rod just to the right of the island. So let's just hope his big brother or even his granddad comes along later on. 40 pounder, that would be absolutely lovely. There he goes. Right, we're back out. So it's the morning of day 5. Pulled the rods in. I've gone round for a shower. I'll nip down to the supermarket to get some French stick and stuff. I've come back and we are going to jump into this swim here. So my rods are out that side, 3 over there, but I've been hearing the fish bosh all night over in this corner, and no one's been fishing that. And I think to rescue the trip, time is getting on now, and we haven't landed anything over 20 pounds. So I want to rescue the trip, at least land a 30. That's kind of my target now. So we're going to get out there, get the waders on, get the poles in, send the boat over into the corner and see if there's any clear patches over there, because like I say, I've been hearing big fish jump out. I saw one this morning, and I think that's probably our last hope to get a decent fish. Obviously out here, yes, there's a lot of fish there, but there are a lot of small fish, so we'll see. I'm going to give it a go, get the rods out in that far corner, get one of the rods out in that far corner. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can land at least a 30 pounder before we leave. We've got 2 days left to do it. Fingers crossed it happens.
I have been fishing this quiet corner during this trip, but been concentrating more on the spots out in front of me. But after hearing the fish boshing in this corner last night and seeing a few this morning, I feel like I need to concentrate my efforts here a little more. I've decided to set the alarms up in the water as I can get a better angle on the rod without having to put a line through the rushes and risk losing anything that may pick it up. After saying that, you wouldn't believe what happened next. The rod screamed off, and after playing a fish for a couple of minutes, I got cut off. Must have been caught on a mussel or something like that. Oh well, you can't win them all. I'm not going to let this deter me at all. I know they're here now, so I need to get that rod back out on the spot and hope I don't get snapped off again.
The rods ain't been out long. We had one from that corner off there, only a little one, not worth putting on the camera. And now this one's streamed off. It definitely feels a little bit bigger than any that I've played this week so far. So, fingers crossed, it's a bigger fish. Oh, yeah, it's a much better fish. There we go. Right, sound. Ooh. Right, so here we go then. Another common. This one just short of 20 pound. I thought it was a little bit bigger. It did, in fact, you know what? It's been the biggest one I've had so far, and I definitely felt it on the end of the rod. But they are coming in quite fast now. So keep them rods out on them spots. Let's power through these little ones, and fingers crossed we do actually manage to get into one of them big ones. So get this one back, get the rod out again. Day 6 of the trip, and we've got 2 fish in the sling down there. One common weighing in at 23 pound and a mirror weighing in at just over 27 pounds. So that is absolutely awesome. Had a great night last night, or early hours of this morning. The mirror caught that about 20 minutes ago, and the common was caught just before first lights. Haven't quite broke the 30 pound barrier yet and hitting our target. Still got tonight and tomorrow night to go, so fingers crossed we can do it. Gonna get these out now, picture them, get them back in. There we go then. Nice 27 pound mirror. Not quite the £30 target we're looking for, but we have still got plenty of time. Put this one back and get the other one out. There we go, fish number 2 of last night's action. £23 common. Come out from the middle rod off the island, using that same mix of bait that I showed you guys before. Absolutely awesome fish. 2 rods are out of the water at the moment, so we're going to get this one back, get them, and get them rods back out on the spots. Well, that didn't take long. Literally, that rod's only been out about 5 minutes. See, I had the swims rested for a little while I went round for a shower. But I did put some bait out on the spots before I went round for my shower. I've got to pull that back underneath the other rod. Lively, but it's only little. So here we go then, lovely little common, rods are only out about 15 minutes, pristine condition, but about £25 too light. There we go, let's get it back, rod back out on the spot.
So with only 1 night remaining, I still hadn't hit my target of landing a £30 fish, but that was all about to change. Check this out.
Right, so here we go then. Broke the barrier, £30, 34.2 actually this one weighed. Awesome as well to have a mirror, which all week I've been sat there catching them commons. We've got a lovely mirror to finish off the trip. There's literally hours left. Again, all day today I've been plagued with little fish. We've only got 1 rod in. In fact, there's only 1 rod in the water out of the 4. So we've done it, we've caught the 30 pound, 34.2, absolutely awesome. Get this one back, still time for more, come on. So here we go then, one last look at her, 34.2, absolutely amazing capture. Set myself a target of 30 pound, smashed through loads of little ones, 20s, loads of little 20s, 15s, 10s, 1s, all sorts, and we finally got our target right at the very end on the last day, which is pucker. Just waiting for her to get her energy back, and there she goes. Get in there. Well happy with that. So the rod has gone off again. It's the right hand rod this time, out towards all them fallen trees. It's the furthest spot, keeps producing. This time around it's actually produced something a little bit special, if I'm honest. Not massive, but looks absolutely pucker. Oh, zipling. It's not been behaving itself. 23 pound on the nose. Absolutely awesome way to end the trip. If that's the last fish, I'll be well happy with that. So let's get that back. Again, I said it before, still time left. 10 o'clock in the morning, we've got to be off here. Here we go. So it's the last night of the trip. Rods are back out on the spots. Behind me you can see there's a lot of stormy clouds there, and been thundering and lightning for probably about the last half an hour now. So kind of thinking maybe that might mix them up a little bit, change the way they feed, maybe move some different fish into the swim. Fingers crossed we might have an even bigger one, but all we can do is wait now. Out of here tomorrow morning, fingers crossed for one last bite. So there we go guys, that's the end of the trip. It's been an absolutely fantastic one. Caught loads of fish, haven't caught any of those massive monsters that reside in the lake, but it is what it is sometimes. I'm going to pull the rods in now, get the van packed up. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment, and until next time, hope you catch a big one.